But before we start the review, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment below and join the discussion. Also, don't forget to tune in for the Ukrainian Bloggers podcast, which happens every Monday and Thursday.
That's how the OGs taught me. They taught me that years ago, Take your little money, flip that thing, invest it in some property, get you a piece of the earth. That's why I said don't buy $85,000 car before you buy a house. You see, I said that many moons ago. Not 85, bro. Get a car, but not 85,000.
Hello and welcome back to CellReviews. Today we are back with a brand new review with E-40 Practice Makes Paper. Let's begin. In E-40's case, Practice really does make paper because he has been releasing albums after albums, 28 albums strong now. It's up for debate whether these are classic albums every time. Is really up for debate, and it's also up for debate the quality of these albums, because this is what a lot of people speak in terms of E-40 too. They always say, well, he releases a lot of albums, but there's no quality, like they're not classics. He only has one classic album, which is My Ghetto Report Card. I beg to differ. Although My Ghetto Report Card is his most popular album, this guy has been pioneering a sound that isn't actually very popular in the mainstream hip-hop at all, or even regarded as anything to do with hip-hop, period. He talks a lot in interviews regarding the politics around hip-hop, like around areas, so to speak.
How much you think does region play a part in people like not mentioning you as one of the best of all time?
Man, what's over their head like a flying saucer. They sometimes what's different. Sometimes people don't want to accept. Everyone wants it to be in one lane. They want everybody to rap a certain way. You know what I'm saying? They want everybody like the words I display and all that stuff. That's real. A lot of that be real street terms like that I got from the soil. You feel me? And I might put my little ooh-wop on it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's real game involved.
Do you even think they cover the Bay fairly? Like throughout?
No, they don't. They don't, bro.
For
the
sure,
Bay,
not.
The game comes from the Bay, man.
Everything.
You feel what I'm talking about?
People might
in
get
real
offensive.
life.
They might feel offensive to that.
Hey,
but
man, they know it though.
But you
For
can feel
sure.
it.
This the
You
thing.
can feel it through music, though.
It has to be considered with E-40 because he does pioneer only one type of sound. It is the West Coast Bay Area sound that he does. And him, Too Short, and guys like Rapping Forte, DJ, I believe DJ Quick, don't quote me on that, please. I don't wanna have a gang on my neck. But literally, I believe those guys were the only guys in the 90s to really be pioneering their sound forward. Maybe not DJ Quick in terms of the Bay Area, but in terms of the West Coast sound, I could say him. That being said, it is no argument that the Bay Area sound is not really well favored. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's really not, and sometimes it's being used to propel careers, and that's it. No one really pays homage to that area. But in terms of E-40 though, I have seen an evolution from him from the first time I listened to My Ghetto Report. From the first time I listened to My Ghetto Report Card from 2006 to now, he has become a lot more self-reflective, if that makes sense, a lot more deterministic, and he pretty much wants to reward the listeners that has been following his career from now till then, from then till now, I should say. He's now rewarding them with a lot of knowledge that they probably didn't know. That the track you didn't know is pretty much emphasizes this point, because he's telling people about eating healthy, life insurance values, of course. Like, that's just one track. Another track that has got a lot of messages is In the Struggle, especially to do with how it's come up. Now, it may not be on the nose like Bet You Didn't Know, but there is a lot of lessons to be learned here in terms of in terms of the mental strength that you require in order when you're being put in a situation in which you have to survive. And also, I Don't Like Him is probably another track in there with a very good message in terms of you should really pick your friends carefully, because they especially in the West Coast, I should say, especially in E-40's area, where you need people where it's so easy for you to get sold out, to get reduced prison time, especially with the prison complex in the United States as it is, where it's being seen as a business. For example, it is extremely easy to get caught up in that, and people will sell you out for that. Also, building on I don't like him, he goes on to watch the homies, because he's literally he's giving you the messages in terms of literally making it as clear as possible, not really being cryptic or being conceptual, but he's telling you everyone that is around you, you need to put 4 eyes on them, if possible, 4 eyes on them, so that they don't double cross you, because you need to prove your friends more than anything else, because your friends can easily turn to your enemies. For example, there are so many lessons that you can draw away directly and indirectly from this album, and these tracks pretty much exemplify what I'm trying to say. In terms of recommendation, I personally just in terms of recommendation, I personally just give it a digital download. I do think his work does need to be supported. He's independent. He doesn't really have the label push that a lot of these artists actually do have. And also it has to be said as well, for someone who is independent to always release a lot of his work and still remain relevant is actually a feat of its own. Like, for someone to be independent for 28 years is a feat on his own. Like, he's that self-belief from album to album. That self-belief is unmatched by many that I've seen. No one can reach that feat. So, and the one thing I've always loved about E-40 is the comedic factor that he brings to his raps. You're listening to this and you're gonna have a laugh one way or the other. It does change your mood. You do learn something from him. And listening to the albums from 2006 to now, he has grown to becoming more of a godfather figure, more of an individual that is now passing on knowledge to you. You can actually document and see its growth as it progresses. In 2012, where a lot of people were not really giving Kendrick Lamar a shine, or he wasn't making it to the mainstream as of yet, or even released Good Kid, Mad City, E-40 was there. He was being given a verse on the album called The Block Brochure, Welcome to the Soil, Free. On the track Catch a Fade, featuring Droop E and of course Kendrick Lamar, who is the topic of discussion. Now, this rapper, of course, Kendrick Lamar has gone on to be a success, and he wasn't the only person. He's been collabing with countless West Coast Bay Area artists, for example, Problem, for example, Raven Justice, and many more from that area. So he is not only a legend and a veteran in that case, but he also provides a platform in which new rappers can actually get their shine and go on to have productive careers. That being said, the feature list on this album is very rich. I'm actually gonna read it out. We have Anthony Hamilton, who is an R&B singer. Also KCI. If you know KCI and JoJo, they go way back. If you are an R&B head, that is. Redman, Method Man. If you don't know them, if you don't know those two, I don't know what to say. But yes, for explanation purposes, Method Man belongs to the Wu-Tang Clan, and Redman also does a lot of songs with them. If you don't know about Method Man and Redman, go and listen to Our High Part 2, and you'll be up to date. Fabolous, who is probably a very underrated hip hop rapper in my opinion, is in there. Red Cafe, who I haven't heard from in a very long time. Since I believe this one was since We Fly Together and Making Me Proud. After he released those 2 tracks, I haven't heard from him for a while. A$AP Ferg is in there, you know him already. Schoolboy Q, Quavo, Roddy Ricch, Rick Ross, Jeremiah, Chris Brown, Ty Dolla $ign, Wiz Khalifa, Scarface, who is a legend by the way, T Grizzly, Boozy Badass, which again I don't think he gets his props. He's been in the game for a long time, and people still don't know about Boozy. People still don't actually appreciate his contributions in the hip hop game, and literally he's done a lot for the South. He's actually been very active for the best period of 30 years, and I'm very surprised that he's not really being considered a lot in hip hop conversations. Then we have Problem. Those are the prominent rappers. Those are just prominent rappers in here. There are so much upcoming rappers, rappers, and also rappers that has been returning onto the album that E-40 has been collaborating with since My Ghetto Report Card. This is Stressmatic. This is also Bosco. Bosco, he has been collaborating with since My Ghetto Report Card. OMB Prezi is a new upcoming artist that I've been liking into, and there are two tracks that stood out to me that I would pick out to go and support if I was to play out. For example, it's another one featuring Red Cafe and Fabolous. This is a really hidden club banger. And also it would be Wake Their Ish Up. And now these two tracks, in my opinion, are very, very strong on their own. They are very, very strong tracks on here as well. Chase the Money is very, very strong. Very, very strong, talking about like very, very motivational for the streets. One Question is possibly, it's not up there with the R&B hip hop collab as I've heard, but the stylings of Jeremiah and Chris Brown and Rick Ross makes the track, like, you can see E-40's artistry brain. Like this is a very, very good, and then the track makes sense. The track really does make sense. Chris Brown doesn't rap on this actually, so he just sings. So I'm very happy to see that, because sometimes when Chris Brown does rap a bit too much, it can get very jarring for me. But that being said, I think this album definitely is an 82% for me personally. I think he has really come of age. He has grown with his fan base. A lot of his fan base may agree with me when I say that this is probably his best work since My Ghetto Report Card, if not on par with My Ghetto Report Card, because I do understand that album is a classic in his own respect. But let me know what you think of the album in the comments below. Thank you so much for checking out this review. I'm curious to know your thoughts in the comments below. Honestly, when it comes to E-40, like they just need to put up they just need to put some respect on this guy. Rain on my Parade actually was extremely good. I was really surprised by G-Eazy. Listen, G-Eazy is probably one of these guys that is really holding back a lot. He is an average rapper. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna disagree with that. But I feel like he's only average because he wants to be average, not because he is actually average. There are some lines that he comes up with that I'm like, oh, that's kind of smart. I wouldn't think about that sort of thing. I think that G-Eazy is holding back a lot from this game. Apart from that, guys, apart from that, this 2 CD release is a very good release in my opinion. He is always putting the upcoming artists here on his work, and he's done that with T Grizzly and also Bex Life, Raj, and also Pero Giovanni Peasy. And yeah, like, I really hope E-40 continues to make more dope albums like this, because I really enjoy this experience. I've listened to his album at least 6 times already, and I'm not gonna stop because it's a great summer sounding album also. Anyway, thank you for checking out this review, and see you on the next one. Peace.